Bitcoin, Cardano, all of crypto continue to the downside. Is there any support at all? In this video, I'm simply going to break it down. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. Somebody I just saw in the comment said, you only lose if you sell. Only lost if you sell. Remember, I agree with that. I agree with that. So I really kind of want to make this a brief video. I'm tracking this on the short term right now. You know, we've zoomed out on the charts a lot, especially last night. I did a video last night talking about the emotionality of the markets. At the end of the day, the question you should ask yourself as an investor is, what's up, Poseidon Lou? The question you should ask yourself as an investor is, are you long in crypto? Because if you're long, I don't think that falling means failing. Like right now, crypto is falling, and I keep refreshing over the last week CoinMarketCap and checking, you know, the global crypto market cap right now at 1.45 trillion, you know, and slowly falling. But the question to ask yourself is, does falling mean failing? And if you're long in crypto, the very simple answer, in my opinion, is no. But we want to track this move. You know, on the weekly chart, it's a very ugly looking weekly chart for Bitcoin. We broke the 20-week moving average. You know, this inverted hammer on the weeklies looking uglier and uglier as time goes on. Going to be really interesting though. The next 1 day and 6 hours before this weekly candle closes, I do not count anything out when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto in general. So I'm really keen on the short-term charts right now, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. So let me just dive into it. This is what we've been tracking, and you know, we've been tracking it really well, very non-emotionally. Remember this swing high to swing low. Remember everybody kind of getting very excited in this move to the upside, and we were talking about just be very cautious at this Fibonacci resistance, and I talked about this in last night's video. Very cautious, because if we see resistance, likely coming back down to test a Fibonacci support. And look how the story has played out. We are now testing a Fibonacci support. And this is years and years on this channel. This happens all of the time. That's why in the short term, this is what I'm watching. Swing low now to swing high resistance that we just saw when everybody was extremely bullish, calling for the bottom. Now we come back down and we're testing support right at this moment. And for me, there's 5 hours, 28 minutes left on the 6 hour chart for Bitcoin. And I really want to see how the 6 hour chart closes. And I want to see how the daily chart closes, because the daily chart closes in 5 hours and 28 minutes, 27 minutes as well. So that's the Fibonacci support. Bitcoin is in it right now. The other thing now that I wanted to talk about, now that we finally made our journey, Bitcoin has made its journey, the volatile journey, you know, swing low, high, low, high. And you see the formation bouncing between these Fibonacci's, forming a symmetrical triangle now. And again, how often do we see these as we track crypto? Hit that like button, everybody, if you're cruising in on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Even with crypto dipping, life is good, everybody. Remember that as we track this right now. So now we're at support. The support that we've been tracking, 618 at 34,000, you know, 900 to the 786 at $33,200. We are testing the lower trend line now of the symmetrical triangle, and let's face the facts. Let's face the facts as we always do. Let's face the data as we always do, though maybe not beautiful, maybe not pretty, maybe not comforting, maybe quite fearful. Breakout target to the downside, $25,000 for Bitcoin. It's not an opinion. It's just what's setting up on the charts. Be prepared for it. We talk about on the zoomed in and zoomed out charts all the time. Be prepared for bull market highs. Be prepared for bear market lows. Be prepared for, you know, crypto to fail and your portfolio to go to zero. We talk about that because that's what we're doing here. We're preparing so that in this very moment, you know how to handle yourself. You know how to handle the mental aspect of these markets. So this is what we're looking at. Now, I digress back to, we are at support. And I want to see how this holds up in the next 6 hours. What's the daily candle look like? You know, do we come down further? Are we going to wick back above and close within the Fibonacci support? I want to see that kind of stuff. I want to see how that plays out on the very short term. Can we get a bounce to the upside? Now we continue to tell the story of the Fibonacci's. I get made fun of a lot because I just say Fibonacci around 300 times per video, but it is what it is. Swing high to swing low. If this is support, if it's down here, wherever it is, we look for a potential, bounce back to a new lower high. Again, this would be the area to break in a bullish momentum environment, bullish reversal. That would be the 786 around 39,400 to the 618 around 38,000. Can Bitcoin bounce off of the support, make its way here, continue the symmetrical triangle setup, right? This would be a lower high area. And we're getting very close to this apex. So be very, very careful in the next, couple days as Bitcoin is getting squeezed into this apex. And we see this setup all of the time. There's a lot of fear in the market right now. Obviously, I mean, we're coming off of $60,000 not that long ago. And, all of a sudden we find ourselves at $34,000 Bitcoin. But this is the setup you want to be prepared for. Breakout target to the upside, it's in that $52,000, $50,000 to $54,000 range to the upside. The reason why that's such a big area, if we zoom out now and go to the weekly chart, is, that 20-week moving average is right around 48,000. It just makes, even if, listen, I haven't said that we're entering a bear market yet, but, I love this. Hold on a second. I haven't said we were entering a bear market, but at the very least, even if we were, I just think a move would make a lot of sense for Bitcoin to make a move back to that 20-week moving average at the very least. This would be a lower high area for continuation into that bear market that many people are calling for. I'm just not there yet, everybody. And the reason being is because as we zoom in on these charts, Bitcoin's in a dip, which is normal. Bitcoin's in a consolidation pattern, which is normal. And we continue to track these things. We continue to watch these things. So going over here to the 6-hour chart once again, and that's ADA. Let's go to the Bitcoin 6-hour. This is what you want to watch for in the coming day, is support at this lower trend line Fibonacci area, and we're going to track it. We're going to see how it sets up. So going over to ADA now, this is ADA on the weekly. Crazy, isn't it? Still a green weekly candle, still above the 20-week moving average. 20-week moving average right now, to give you an idea, around $1.10. We have some on-chain metrics we're going to look at in a second in regards to, what people are doing with their ADA right now. But this is on the weekly chart, and it's just, this is going to be very interesting to see how this entire move plays out. Not only that, to see how the emotionality of what we're seeing right now on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere, how it can flip so easily. And this is going to be, one way or another, on the long-term zoomed out chart, a blip on the radar screen. Everybody's so emotional right now. I encourage you, after you watch this video or after you're done doing your crypto due diligence, go enjoy life. This is such a normal thing for crypto, what it's doing right now. And if you're long-term, I know I'm long-term in terms of Cardano. We talk about the long-term potential of Cardano, $500 billion, $1 trillion market cap, whether it's this bull market, whether it's the next bull market, doesn't matter to me. I'm long, I'm building, and that's what I'm doing here. So let's zoom in and let's talk about the Cardano move. This is Cardano on the daily. One thing we don't want to see has happened. We failed at that $1.50 area. We failed at the 50-day moving average, which is confluent with that area. That's the area to get back above now. Now, the thing is, we tested this area over and over again to the upside, right? We've tested it to the downside now. And the question is, can Cardano make its way back above on this daily chart, coming out of the consolidation pattern you see here? This would be such a solid reversal move for Cardano if it happens. That $1.50 turning into support like that on the macro, flipping that $1.50 to support would be absolutely bullish. And we have to be patient because right now we're in a consolidation pattern. You can go over here. This is a video. I'm not going to show a clip. This is from 3 days ago on the 26th. We're trading at $1.69 when I did the video, talking about the move that is actually happening right now on the screen. And this is the move coming all the way down into the Fibonacci support, going to the 6-hour chart. This is what it looks like. It has played out. We're in a symmetrical triangle similar to Bitcoin. We're testing Fibonacci support. We're at the 786 line of the Fibonacci. And you can see this right here, swing low to swing high. Testing the 618 line of the Fibonacci, which is not even in the Fibonacci just yet. But look at that support so far at the 618. That is around $1.34, $1.35 to the 786 around $1.20, $1.21. That's support for Cardano right now. I did that video the other day talking about this potential move to the downside, and check it out. $1.69, boom, we're here. The reason I did the video, the reason I talked about it, the reason I gave that caution is because this is the move we see all of the time, whether you're in a bull market or bear market. So somebody said, are sunny days near? You know what? That's a great, right before I started the live stream, I thought about, everybody gets so negative and bearish, like so fast. And it's just like, I thought about how humans, we can be very emotional. We can live very much in the moment. When it's a huge rainstorm outside, if you wallow in it, you forget behind the clouds are sun, right? There's always sunny days ahead, how long that will take, prepare for that. But there's always sunny days ahead, everybody. There's always upside. And in the dips is where opportunity is. In the challenges, in the fear, in the volatility, it's where opportunity is. And I don't say these things to throw hopium out there. I really don't. You'll find the same exact positivity if we start tanking into the bear market. Cardano's below $1. I'm going to be here with the same mindset, right? And that is to accumulate. That is to build. That is to stay positive. That is to turn trials into opportunity, trials into wins. That's the name of the game, everybody. If you're in crypto, be very careful with the things you read in the comments and even some videos and tweets you see. It's too emotional and it's too negative. And it's only positive. You only see positive stuff much of the time when we're just hitting these all-time highs and there's the euphoria. And that's not how to win this game, because 50% plus of the time, it's actually not euphoria. It's actually not just cruising to the upside. 50% plus of the time, Cardano, Bitcoin, they're dipping. Even in bull markets, there's pain. Get used to those times. So this is the short-term pain. It's a very normal retracement to the downside. We're testing that Fibonacci. I'll be very interested to see what Cardano does, going all the way down to the $1.20 area. What does Cardano do? Are we even going to make it down to that area? That is, from where we are right now, another 10, 11% to the downside. That's what I'm tracking on Cardano. You can see the Cardano breakout areas. Again, to the downside, it's not fun to mention, but there's a target down here to the 70-cent range out of the symmetrical triangle. But guess what? There's a target up here to the $3 range out of the symmetrical triangle. If this bull market continues and all of the bears are left wallowing in their own surprise. Zooming out, I don't know if you've been tracking just Cardano with me for months now, but you might remember this huge ascending triangle that we worked through together, the volatility of it. This was the beginning of the bear market all the way back here. This was the beginning of a bear market. This was the beginning of a bear market. Guess what? Again, to many people, this is the beginning of a bear market. Do you see the emotionality? But when we were tracking this, we had this break below that trend line. And at that time, we had that breakout target down here in the 60 to 70 cent area. It's not something we wanted to talk about, but it's something we were prepared for. And so it is on the symmetrical triangle that we have here. It's something we want to be prepared for. The 70-cent range for Cardano. With everything going on with Cardano, wow. I mean, there's going to be so many buyers at $1, let alone 70 cents. Don't know how that's going to play out, but that's the target from a technical perspective. And long story short, we have to give it time to play out. The other thing is we got this breakout, but remember, we talked about what a symmetrical triangle often does. That is, we get these pullbacks 65% of the time based off of 3,000 trades. This is Balkowski. This is the patternsite.com. I use a lot of the data. I compensate a lot for the volatility of crypto, but this is what we're looking at. 65% of the time, there's a pullback, a 65% pullback rate. Now, 74% of the way to the triangle apex is when we get the breakout, upward 60% of the time. So going back to Cardano, what that looks like, in discussing that 65% pullback rate, a pullback is this: break the lower trend line, it's a fake out. We pull back in, it turns bullish. We tracked that entire move back in April and it played out perfectly. That was a busted ascending triangle and we came right up to the $250 area. You might have remembered that. Now we are on a symmetrical triangle, talking about a same type of deal. It's a pullback potential coming out, getting pulled back in, continuation to the upside. This is max fear. Whether we continue to the target or not, this break of this trend line under $1.20, this is max fear. This is, you're going to have that uncomfortable feeling in the pit of your stomach. If it happens, you're going to lose all hopium. If it happens, this is it. And oftentimes in that environment is when we get the pullback into the symmetrical triangle, 60% pullback rate. I forget exactly what the pullback rate is for ascending triangles, but it was the same thing here. Remember, max fear in April, a lot of people selling, and then boom, just like that, we entered into the clear sunny skies out of the clouds that were on the charts. And that's how it happens, everybody. This is crypto and this is how it happens all of the time. And again, I don't come with hopium, but I just come with data. And this is why we track these things. We have to let it play out on the screen. We have to see how the cryptos interact. And you know what? People are going to respond how they're going to respond. People are going to make decisions how they're going to make decisions. I just sit here and I encourage you, tread very lightly, slowly. Try not to get emotional. This is our third stake pool that we just launched. I just want to show you, not trying to shill it, but check this out. All I see, not all, but a lot of what I see is white right now. And that is people staking in CCV2. There's a little red. Somebody looks like they cashed out 7,500 ADA. But look at this. The pool's growing. So, and I really think it's going to be interesting whether we go down or not to see what happens here. People are accumulating Cardano. They're holding it like 70% staked and delegated. It's just so bullish. Lastly, I do want to mention this. I am tracking. I really want to track the volatility S&P 500 index. This is kind of a really zoomed out version. This is on the weekly chart of global fear in traditional markets as well. And I think this is going to be really important to track. Will this continue down? If this continues down going into this week, this next week, I think it could be very bullish for crypto. I think there could be a turnaround in crypto. But from a technical level, we track it. Cardano trading just above support. Bitcoin trading right within support right now. And you can see, let me chart that one more time. If you're new here, that swing low to swing high. Bitcoin right in its own Fibonacci support area, that green area. So that's the update for today. Everybody, I appreciate you cruising by. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, have an awesome day. Zoom out on the charts, everybody. I really encourage you to do that. And I'll see you all in the next video. God bless.